I'm AJ.
I'm Sunny.
I'm Randy, and this is Bourbon, Wine, and True Crime, a podcast where three considerate but impatient friends sit down once a week to drink together virtually and discuss true crime. Hello, ladies.
Hello, hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
Happy New Year. Was that a jab at me? Jab at me for consistently being late? They're like, yeah, you're very considerate for being.
I wrote that before I even logged on, but
you know what? You knew.
I knew.
You knew.
Somehow she knew.
So I want to give a quick disclaimer because Eduardo yelled at me about this. Not yelled, obviously, because I would not tolerate that. But we're discussing. I think it was the Santa Claus crimes, and I said something about a pistol and a clip. It is a magazine. I know it's a magazine. I was drunk. Ooh. Don't come at me. I know things about guns.
You better be accurate with everything that you say.
Everything, always.
Everything.
You put the thing in the thing, and then you pull the trigger, and it goes boom. Right?
Yeah. With the pew pew and the. Mm-hmm.
What are you guys drinking?
I mixed it up.
Oh, tell us.
Oh,
mixed it up a little bit. So Randy, you're aware that I brought back a box of alcohol with me.
You did.
And so I accidentally ordered an enormous bottle of Jameson, like enormous bottle.
Accidentally.
Mm-hmm. And so this is Jameson and Sprite Zero with some lime.
Ooh.
And it's delicious.
Sounds nice.
I will take your word for it.
Mm.
Jameson's a whiskey, right?
It is, and normally I'm not a huge whiskey person unless it's bourbon, but this is actually, look, I'm getting closer to back on brand. Closer. We're slightly closer, moving that
We're
direction.
Almost there.
There.
I'm on brand. I'm having wine. Cheers.
I am, as always, off brand. I'm having my vodka before I go into sober January.
Sober January. I'm doing half dry January.
Explain half dry.
No, I know. So some people are like, yeah, like half the time I'm drunk. No, it's not that.
It's not like California sober, okay?
No, it's not like California sober. No, it's starting January 15th through the end of the month. So half dry January.
I will be doing dry January 100% against my will because I am going out for a training exercise starting tomorrow to the beginning of February. So I know that we just took a hiatus for the holidays. We wanted to take a little break. We'll be taking another hiatus because I won't be here. So thanks for your patience while I continue to suffer in the army.
And I will just relieve everybody's mind, and I'll take one for the team, and I'll imbibe all the alcohol for us for January.
Oh, well, thanks.
You're welcome. So I'm so glad I could be that friend.
Love that
Cheers.
for you.
Love that for you.
I'll be like, no, babe, this one's Sunny's. It's okay. I can have it. It's not.
She's like, this one's for my homies.
And this one's for my other homie, Randy. It's okay. It's not me. It's Randy's.
It's not mine. It's going directly to her liver.
Oh, wait, I have a joke. I have a joke. Okay. All right. So there's this guy who he goes into a bar every single day, does the same thing. He orders 3 shots of whiskey and he sits there, takes all 3, sits there in silence for a second, and then he leaves. So one of the bartenders like, hey man, what can I just ask, kind of, you always look a little bit sad. You take 3 shots. What's going on? He said, well, this is actually, I have 2 friends that died and we all used to drink together. So every time that I take a shot for them because, it's, oh wait, no, I already fucked up the joke. Hang on. Did I fuck it up? Oh yeah. No, I didn't. We're good. So then one day, he goes in and he says, yeah, I'll have 2 shots of whiskey. And the guy's like, what what are you doing? What can I ask? Like, what's going on? Did something like what's going through your mind, man? He's like, oh, don't worry, I just quit drinking.
I have a probably much less funny bar joke. So a priest, a nun, and a rabbit walk into a bar, and the rabbit sits down and says, "Hi, I think I'm a typo."
Oh.
Oh, there's nothing I could do.
There's nothing I could
there's
do.
nothing
There's
I could
nothing I
do.
do.
Okay,
Oh,
well, anyway,
oh
we
my
went
God.
totally
we went off the rails.
derailed.
Okay, let's bring it on back.
Bringing it back. Bring it back.
So it's my case today. It's my my notes, and I haven't told y'all what I'm covering yet. And I actually am a little sad because I tried to get two of our friends to be guests on today's recording, and neither one were available, unfortunately. So the
Boo.
topic I've picked, and then you can kind of figure out who I would have invited. The killer today is labeled in the media as the cosplay killer.
Ooh.
Mm. So I'd invited Kat and I had invited Princess Link to join us for the pre-banter and talk a little cosplay nonsense.
Oh, I miss it.
And unfortunately, they were both tied up. So we couldn't get them, but that's okay. We still have us, and we can talk a lot of stuff about cosplay.
We sure can.
So for our listeners, you may not know this, but Sunny and I participated in a very fun cosplay girls group. Randy, we weren't as close at that time, but still a big part of our life that we share together, and so much fun. And you and I have a lot of creepy stories from Comic-Con and cosplay. We sure do. And that kind of what triggered me to like want to try to find a case or see what was out there. And I was actually really surprised at the lack of cases. Not that you want like a crime to happen at like a convention or to a fellow cosplayer, but I legitimately was very surprised that there were like it was like slim pickings. So I was a little surprised.
I mean, I'm sure most of it just goes unreported.
Yeah, definitely. I think so too. You know, it's just kind of tolerated because of like the vibe, I guess. I remember Sunny being like stalked very closely while trying to eat like some hot wings or nachos.
Yeah.
With a camera?
I still hear from a certain individual who had hired us for an event. Who, yeah.
Will remain nameless.
But yeah, I have not answered in a decade.
That's gross.
Yeah. Definitely. So
I'm excited about your case though. Tell us.
Yeah, I honestly, this was really hard to find. Apparently, so let me just give a little slight background real quick. There was a very recent homicide that by a very popular cosplayer, and I'm not going to use names for that case because I don't have it memorized. I don't want to screw anything up. But she had accidentally shot her friend in the head while wearing a Batman costume, and so like that was like the big story. Like that was like 3 pages of Google results. Was like this one cosplayer. And I was like, well, this is so recent, like, and it was kind of cosplay adjacent. Because it wasn't kind of what I had in mind. But anyway, that one was like all over the place. And depending on how much time we have after I cover my case, because it's not a long case, but it's a good case. I have another set of stories that if Randy and Sunny, if you would like to popcorn read those little gems to kind of round out our stories of cosplay.
I would.
Yeah. Okay. So when we get through this one, I'll send y'all the link and then you can popcorn read that one. So this case, this killer was dubbed the Cosplay Killer, and it takes place we're going to go in the Wayback Time Machine 10 years ago, a decade, to October 2013.
Okay, that was recent. I thought we determined that was recent. No? All right.
No, yeah, but you haven't answered in a decade.
Your creepy person?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay.
That's what I'm referring to.
Got it.
and this, when I looked at the date for this, I was like, oh my gosh, like we were like in the throes of cosplay girls. Like we were just really like in like, yeah, up to our armpits.
I was in Afghanistan.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Okay, so this again, October 2013, and this is taking place out of Malaysia. And in the and so in the newspaper that I found, they define cosplay as this. That cosplay is short for, quote, costume play, is a performance art where participants wear costumes and accessories of their favorite manga or anime characters. Period.
Nope. No. Good
Missed
try,
the
though.
mark. Missed the mark, but that was their definition of cosplay, and I thought that made me giggle. Okay, so we're going to talk today about 15-year-old Ing Yuk Tim. And I am so apologizing to anybody that I might have just completely annihilated her name. But her first name is NG, which I think is pronounced Ing. Does that anybody know?
I can Google it.
Google it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So 15-year-old Ing left her home Monday, October 21st, 2013, around 11 a.m. in Petaling, Jawa. She went out to meet some friends for breakfast, and she was a cosplay enthusiast. The hobby of dressing up as TV characters, especially for her, from Japanese anime. She left her friends from breakfast at around 1 p.m. that day to meet with a male friend that she had reportedly met online to work on a cosplay project.
Hey, AJ, it's pronounced when or when?
I actually did know that. Yeah, because I know we have a Dr. Win, but it's NG, and they have a whole bunch of other letters after that, but it's still Win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when, I apologize. Thank you. All right. Okay, so she goes to meet this guy that she met online to work on a cosplay project. She was hoping to make a helmet for a cosplay competition that was going to be in December. So pretty harmless, very sweet, very cute. Gonna make a helmet. But okay. So there was conflicting reports about whether she had met this friend in person or if it was somebody that she had never met and had only corresponded with online. So that's kind of unknown. There was conflicting information. She had told her mom and her friends that where she was going and that she was going to go meet this guy to make a helmet. But she didn't come home that evening and she didn't contact her friends. And so her mom immediately reported that she was missing. Her parents were divorced and she had been living with her mom. But so her mom almost immediately reports her missing. She had made plans to meet with another one of her friends after that cosplay interaction. She wanted to go meet her friend for tea. Sounds so sweet.
And she's only 15.
She's only 15. So when she did not show up for tea and she did not go home that evening, these are her movements. This is how her movements are tracked that they can come up with. So after breakfast, she took the train to Kanala Jaya LRT station to meet her friend to work on some cosplay costumes for an event. The male friend, who was 23 years old at the time, stated that he had dropped her off at the same station at about 3:30 p.m. and then left. And from that point on, nobody had seen or heard from her since. So at this point, the information that we're getting is from Wen's aunt. So again, her parents are divorced and she'd been living with her mother, younger sister, aunt, and grandmother. They called up the telecommunication services to kind of figure out where her last text message was, to try to figure it out from there. The last message that she had said was that she was asking for her friend to meet up for tea later that evening. But Wen didn't return home and she was not able to be contacted. So her family then called the male friend that she'd had, and that's when he told her that, no, I took her to the train station and I left her there at 3:30.
Do we know why a 23-year-old is friends with a 15-year-old?
And was it just under the pretext of making a helmet?
All the information from her family and her sources, yes, that was the intention the entire time, was to build this helmet.
So it's just like a business interaction.
I think it's a business interaction, but I think also like in the community of cosplay, when you're like, oh, I know how to make armor, and oh, I know how to make
So that's why it doesn't seem
guns.
that weird to me. Like if you guys are making costumes, there's all age ranges that are involved in that. So there is the potential of it not being super weird for teenagers or people in their 70s to all be kind of like participating in things together. So
Okay.
I would say that in normal life, not cool. But it's sort of like if you're into fly fishing or something, like you also will have people of all age ranges that might be involved.
Especially if it's a helmet, like that's a very special piece. Like how intricate were you wanting to get? How authentic in the fabrication? And then like you're including people who have those skills, and it could be a 70-year-old, it could be a 7-year-old. You literally never know.
Okay.
So, okay. So now they contact the guy, and his name, and I'm probably going to slaughter this one too. So Google this one for me. Poon. 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 In Malaysian.
Oh, well, I just looked up poon meaning and it said a simple or foolish person. That's not helpful.
Oh, that's rude.
Or accurate in this case.
Okay, well. Sounds like poon. Okay, that's
okay.
We're going to call him Poon.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that. Okay.
Poon. It's Poon.
It's Poon. So he was 23, and they were asking him about where she had been. And according to the aunt and grandmother, Wen had left the house and had RM20. And I had to Google that because I'm assuming it was Malaysian currency, and I was correct. So she had 20, which is 23 cents to one. So she had less than $5 on her leaving the house to go to breakfast, to go to tea, to go do all these things. And she's only 15. It's 2013, but still $5 is not going to go very far. And she forgot like her little wallet. She forgot her identification. So the mom at this point kind of takes matters into her own hands, and she goes back to the train station where Poon had said that he had dropped her off at 3:30. And she looks through the CCTV, and there's no footage of her daughter arriving at the train station, being at the train station, or this other guy being there.
She just casually went through the CCTV footage. She is on it.
She's on it.
How did she access that? Can you just access it?
It does not say. So Wen was the older of two children. She had a smaller sister. She's described as having short hair and a small mole on her chin. Her grandmother described her as kind of shy and kind of tomboy, like didn't want to wear makeup, didn't want to like be girly, liked short hair, but she was described as like such a beautiful little spirit and just loved cosplay. So Poon eventually admitted that he had met up with her at his house, but again, he claimed later that no, he dropped her off. So at this point, it's been 24 hours, and now police become involved and a search is mounted. So at this time, Poon actually joins the search and even posts message on social media appealing for her return and urging those who knew her whereabouts to come forward. So he's mingling with her family. He's looking for her and sounding very concerned for her well-being.
But his story's already changed.
So the Malaysian Community Policing Association president, Kuan Che Hen, who was also helping out in the search, was not convinced of Poon's account of the events prior to Wen's disappearance. So the following day, Kuan, an ex-cop turned civilian crime buster, took the man aside and questioned him again, persuading him to tell the truth. Poon had scratches on his hands and a bite mark that he couldn't explain, and Kuan continued to urge him to tell the truth. Yeah.
It's casual bite mark.
Just casual. It's fine.
As one does.
Mm-hmm. Quote, this is the ex-cop talking. I was shocked to my spine when he told me the girl was dead and that I had put her body in a luggage bag before dumping at a spot in Kota Kemuan Shah Alam, Kuan said. So now he's just confessed to this ex-cop, and so now the ex-cop takes him and gets him to be processed. So Poon had claimed that while at his house, Wen had agreed to have sex with him.
Really?
Sure.
Really?
But before they could indulge, he was interrupted by a call from a friend. Yeah, sure, buddy. She didn't agree to anything.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah. She's not going to agree to anything. She's 15.
Yeah.
She's a child.
Who, like, from every description you have of her, she's very much a young girl. Like she's just a baby. So so he claims that he gets this phone call and then like they're not in the mood anymore. And then she decides like, no, I don't want to. But he's trying to like, quote, reignite the flame. And Wen had changed her mind and refused to entertain his sexual advances.
Because she is a child.
She is a child. So this, of course, led to a heated argument before the girl was killed. So according to the post-mortem report, the teenage girl had suffered 3 blows to her head from an exercise dumbbell.
Jeez.
He then stuffed her body in the suitcase and dumped it on the side of the road. Days after being held under a remand order for investigation, Poon was charged with the murder of Wen. There is a report that stated that she had not been raped. I'm skeptical, only because when she was found, she was only wearing her shirt and underwear. And he had admitted that he had tried to rape her before striking her with the dumbbell.
I can never, and I don't.
So which was it?
Like, I don't want to understand because, like with, me and Eduardo would be like, Mirror, sexy time. And if he's like, no, I'm like, okay, I'll go to sleep. Like, there's no, I'm going to try to convince you. I'm going to try to.
No.
Like, it's no is a complete sentence.
No is a complete sentence.
And I can't even fathom where if he's like, no, like, I'm tired or I'm not in the mood, whatever.
And you're like, well.
Like, oh, how dare you? How dare you say no? Like, no, it's just
no.
And also, she is a child you really mean 15. To tell me that this 15-year-old who came to you with like a business transaction to get a helmet for her cosplay was all of a sudden just so overwhelmed by your, sexual wiles that she came onto you? And even if she did, you're the adult and you say no. You say you're a child.
You go, okay, that's great. We'll talk in 3 years, which still not great.
Not great. Yeah. So he admits that he had tried to rape her, and like, which is it? Like he says like, no, we had agreed to have sex and then you tried to rape her. Like,
which thing?
Which is it? So
pick a thing.
Yeah.
I'm horrified.
Yeah. So at the time and this is, I don't completely understand this part, but at the time in Malaysia, it shook the cosplay fraternity, whose members were in disbelief that Poon was capable of such an act. So this part of like the story, I'm like, so is he like a prolific cosplayer? Was he like known in the community? This is even worse. It
doesn't matter.
This is like, what else has he done?
They're not shocked that a child was killed, just that he was capable of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. That seems fine.
So in April of 2018, Poon was finally sentenced to death by the Shah Alam High Court to be hung by the gallows.
Oh, damn.
But wait.
Oh, I knew it wasn't going to end there.
No. Okay.
He's a man.
He is a man.
He escaped the death sentence when the Court of Appeal amended the murder charge to just culpable homicide.
I feel like that's not the same thing.
What's the difference?
I don't know.
It sounds like manslaughter. Like in
that's
the US.
What it sounds like to me. Like the difference between like first degree murder and manslaughter. So his sentence was changed from death to serving just 22 years in jail from the start of his date of arrest in October 2013.
So he's either out or about to get out.
So, yep. And that is the Cosplay Killer.
Thanks, I hate it.
I think what makes me so bummed about this is that you have like it's a beautiful community, and it's like this, I don't know, it's this place for all of us weirdos to feel like we have a place to go, and you gotta taint something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think for a second that he didn't plan that. Maybe not the murder, but at least the sexual assault.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
And then he immediately lied about, and then he had the nerve to like talk to the family and participate in the searches, knowing that he'd killed her.
And post in social media. Like,
did they find her body?
Mm-hmm. He took him immediately to where she was, and she was found.
And now he's either out or will be out in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Dope. Fucking asshole. Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, I mean, that was uplifting for me.
Yeah.
I feel really great for the rest of the weekend.
I have sent y'all a little palate cleanser if y'all want to read that, or we can save it for another time. I'll leave that decision up to you, but they're pretty good.
Did you send it to my iCloud? I haven't gotten it.
I sent it to your messenger.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Okay. I'm ready for this.
I love the title.
All right. I knew you would love it.
You know what, though? This goes along with our last episode a little bit.
It does.
It sure does. So. Mm-hmm. Which I feel like even though that episode was terrible, it was a palate cleanser in general because it was just so stupid the whole time.
Yeah, we
and you're like, it couldn't get worse. I'm like, oh, it can. Just wait.
Spoiler alert, we forgot to post that, so it's gonna be a little out of the holiday season, but
Boo.
I know we'll publish it tomorrow. AJ was actually like, where's that episode at? And I was like, that's a great question.
That's yeah. I'm just gonna read this quote to begin with. It could have been a ski mask. It could have been a bandana. It could have been a hoodie. It just happens to be a Gumby costume. San Diego Police Detective Gary Hassan said. Because some criminals wear a mask, but some decide to cosplay. Bum 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 bum.
Dun, dun, dun.
That was good.
Sunny, do you want to read the first one, or do you want me to?
Go for it.
All right. So AJ sent us an article that says The 9 Worst Cosplay Criminals of All Time by Maurice Mitchell. And the first story is the Bradford Batman. Stan Warby from Bradford, England, turned another man, Daniel Frayne, into police for cashing stolen checks. Since he looked like Batman, he was hailed as a real-life, quote, caped crusader. He humbly said, "I'm no superhero. I eat kebabs. So for this to happen the first time I dress up, I just can't believe it." Then things went horribly wrong. It turns out the two were friends, and Frayne asked for a ride to the police station. Warby was just a 39-year-old delivery guy returning from a soccer, aka football game. Then it got worse. The police later stopped Frayne and the, quote, Bradford Batman for trespassing into a garage and stealing $1,182 worth of power tools. Jeez. What was once an inspirational story of one man making a difference turned into a story about 2 bums committing petty theft. Okay.
Great.
What the hell?
Okay, so I have Applebee's Joker.
Love it.
Oh God.
In upstate New York, a guy walks into an Applebee's restaurant looking like Joker from The Dark Knight.
How dare
It's
you?
not October or anything, so people are probably getting a kick out of it. How fun is that? Then things went horribly wrong. 24-year-old Aaron Chase was drunk as a skunk, had no money, and started harassing people. So they called the cops to kick the clown prince of crime out for trying to order an apple teeny.
As one
I guess
does.
the joke was on him.
That's it.
That's it. That's the whole thing. That's the entire crime.
Drunken with
He's
no
like,
money.
I'm Joker. I want an apple teeny. And they're like, no. And he's like, ah, dang. That's it. That's the whole thing.
You know,
Ladies
you
and
have to be
gentlemen.
doing some like serious shit in Applebee's for the because I've seen some wild shit in Applebee's. For them to call the cops, what were you
You were
doing,
the
my
first
guy?
person who has asked me to go to happy hour at an Applebee's, and I didn't hate it.
Oh no, I just love the stories from the bartenders at places like Applebee's and Chili's because people are horrible.
Mhm.
All right, so not Captain America, not Cap.
Oh, it's gonna be.
Oh no,
America's booty.
It's
America.
America's booty.
It is America's booty because one night in
Hello.
Florida, a bunch of cosplaying doctors visit a few bars. It's just a friendly group of costume fans having drinks and blowing up steam. What could possibly go wrong? Then
The
things
end.
went horribly. Yes, the end. No, it's not. Raymond Adamek, a 54-year-old doctor dressed as Captain America, sticks a burrito in his pants. Oh, were you compensating, Raymond? Were you?
Who wants my taco? You remember? Why doesn't anybody want my taco?
Don't you throw the taco away?
No.
He asks, oh, this is gross. He asks women if they want to touch it. Not surprisingly, the pickup line gets him many rejections. So he takes the burrito out and starts groping a girl. You're disgusting.
Oh.
Someone calls the cops.
I hate it.
According to the police report, according to the police report, there were so many cartoon characters in the bar at that time, all Captain Americas were asked to go outside for possible identification. A woman picks out the guy in the crowd of first Avengers and he gets taken to jail. But he gets caught trying to flush a marijuana joint down the toilet. So much for this idiot super soldier serum. Oh God. Again, no is a complete sentence. If you're hitting on somebody and they say no, just walk away. Just
yeah.
Ruger gets it.
Ruger gets it.
My bad. Okay. I just don't even like this title. Phoenix Jones delivers hat justice.
Yeah.
One man has patrolled the streets of Seattle fighting for justice wearing a skin-tight black and gold rubber suit and a mask. That man is Benjamin John Francis Fodder, who goes by the name Phoenix Jones. One night, a group of friends are leaving a bar, dancing and having a good time. Okay, so in the article, there's two S's. So suddenly, a dude in black leather came up from behind and pepper sprayed the group.
What?
The way Jones described it, he was breaking up a fight.
No, you weren't.
He started screaming, "Call 911," and bravely took off to stop them. He broke out his Phoenix Jones pepper spray, I assume he calls it that, and let loose a cloud of hot justice.
What? Who wrote this?
Let out a cloud of hot justice.
Sounds like you farted.
I'm going to say that now when I fart. I'm going to be like,
I'm
going
to call it hot justice now. Unfortunately, not everyone saw it that way. Two women, one of whom got pepper spray in the eye, attacked him and drove him off. One woman in the group said, "A little argument broke out between our group and another group, and all of a sudden we were attacked. I turned around and we're being attacked by these guys wearing Halloween costume." The mixed martial artist known as Fear the Flat Top was later arrested and put in jail. In fact, he had just sprayed a group earlier that night. "You can't go around pepper spraying people because you think they're fighting," said Seattle police spokesman Detective Mark Jameson. Police added, "If you see something that warrants calling 911, call 911. You don't need to dress up in a costume to do that."
Fear
He's not
the flat
wrong.
top.
Fear the flat top.
Tell me you suffer from toxic masculinity without telling me you suffer from toxic masculinity. Fear the flat top.
Fear the flat top.
So this next one is Darth Vader robs a bank twice.
Okay, I'm here for it.
In 2 separate incidents, a man dressed as Darth Vader robs a bank. First, in Long Island, a guy goes in bank. Oh man, I love the typos in this article. First, in Long Island, a guy goes into a bank wearing Darth Vader's helmet, a black shirt, and a long cloak. One guy starts joking with him. Then things went horribly wrong. It turns out the cosplayer had gone to the dark side. The customer thought it might have been a joke and not a serious attempt at a robbery, said police. Vader didn't force choke the guy, but he did get into a shoving match with the customer. He screamed, "This is not a joke," and pulled out a gun. The tellers filled up a New York Yankees bag with cash. I always knew the Yankees were the path to the dark side. In the second story, a guy goes into a Toledo bank with a Darth Vader mask and a handgun. He robs the bank and escapes on a BMX bike.
Oh, God.
Seems fine.
Neither man was caught, proving that the dark side is a powerful ally.
It's a powerful ally.
What in the world?
Well,
Will?
so I have Cookie Monster smacks a kid.
Oh no!
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
A is for assault.
That's good enough for me. All right. So 2-year-old Samay Katkar and his mother Parmita Kurata go to Times Square and see a guy dressed as Cookie Monster from Sesame Street. Without the parents' permission, he picks up little Samay to pose for a picture. A little boy posing with everyone's favorite blue cookie munching puppet. Great fun, right? Why do all of mine say it's fun, right? And then it's not fun.
It's not fun.
It's never fun.
It turns out Osvaldo Quiros Lopez, 33, was expecting a tip. The mom didn't have any cash, so her husband went to get some. But Osvaldo wasn't getting his $2 fast enough, so he starts cursing her out. Cookie Monster shoves the little boy and almost knocks him to the ground. The jerk was arrested and charged with assault and endangering the welfare of a child. Now,
what a jerk.
The boy hates Cookie Monster.
And the picture of Cookie Monster and Elmo is like the most knockoff
Horrifying?
Shit ever. I would run the other way screaming. It looks like if you asked a 2-year-old to draw Cookie Monster.
It's not good.
It's not great.
And you know what? You're not like, I went to New York, and in Times Square, there's a bunch of cosplayers, and you take their pictures. And I remember being there and going like, I've seen such better costumes.
They're disappointing.
Like a cardboard Batman, and he wants you to give him a $20 bill for taking a picture with him.
No.
Me and Sunny saw a Darth Vader on the strip in Vegas, and this dude, like, the costume looked pretty good, but he smelled like he hadn't showered in like years. And
it wasn't
they
great.
put their arm around you, and I'm just like,
I know your eyes are stinging. I'm like, my eyeliner. It's just
all right. So Ruger, chill out. Ruger doesn't like the stories. All right, so this is the lightsaber attack. In another Star Wars related story, a guy walks into a Toys R Us in Oregon and picks up a lightsaber. Haven't we all? No, I haven't.
Nope.
Then things went horribly wrong. David Allen Canterbury, 33 years old, starts swinging the lightsaber at people. He hits 3 people and somebody calls the cops. Canterbury goes to the parking lot and police say he's yelling incoherent statements, presumably about Padme. That's when the police decided to use their tasers on him. Canterbury just knocks the wires away. Before he can force jump, the police tackle him and take him down. Yes, the police won the standoff against a single guy with a plastic toy weapon. Oh, what in the world was he on? Oh, Sunny, you have the next one.
Well, I am slightly concerned by like that we are associated with cosplay in general, just based off of what's
this doesn't even seem like cosplay. It's just people in really shitty costumes, but it's still funny.
It's just not good. Okay, so hold on, wait. You just did Okay, Star Wars. There we go.
Yep.
Okay. Gumby. Oh, yay! Oh,
You
it's
did the
Gumby.
Gumby.
Gumby robs 7-Eleven. In LA, a guy walks into a 7-Eleven wearing a gigantic Gumby costume. He's there with another guy who apparently refused to dress like Gumby's horse pal Pokey. I like the idea of just disgruntled friends, like that he's like, you're making me do this by myself. And he's like, look, I didn't want to be the horse. You insisted on being Gumby, and them just bickering the whole time, and him just in a Gumby costume.
That's like whenever you go out with your friends and you're like, hey, are you going to dress cute? Are we dressing cute? And they're like, no. And then you show up in sweatpants and they show up in this really cute outfit. You're like, we discussed this.
You said casual.
You
literally said casual.
Anyway.
All right. So Gumby's there for a pack of cigarettes, obviously, of course, and to rob the store.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The clerk thinks it's a joke, but the green clay man says, you don't think it's a robbery? Let me show you my gun. He fumbles around, but his hands are too big for his pockets, and he drops 27 cents on the ground. That's such a specific amount.
Very specific.
The guy's friend gets bored. What? Goes back to the minivan and starts honking his horn. Just fucking come on, man. Like
to the minivan.
But he doesn't leave. He just gets bored and is like a kid being like, brr. The robber's costume starts falling off and he leaves. He's the first robber in history to leave with less money than when he came in.
Me and Eduardo went to the range today to shoot some of our guns, like a fun lunch date. And then afterwards we had to go to Walmart to get some stuff. And we're driving and I can't remember what he said, something. And I thought he said, oh, we have to go and grab the rifle. And I was like in the parking lot and I'm like, what? Wait, what? I can't remember what he actually said. I misheard him. And I was like, oh, I thought you said we'd like grab the rifle. And I was like, what are we doing in Walmart? Like, what's going on? He's like, yeah, babe, you're not going to JRTC. We're going to rob this. And I'm like, I will yeet you out of this vehicle. Like, I am not going to jail for that. So it'd probably be a funnier story if I remember what he actually said. But he didn't say that we're going to shoot up Walmart because that would make him a terrible person.
Well, I think that we should round out this episode with promising our listeners that we're going to post copious amounts of cosplay pictures from Sunny's bachelorette party.
Oh, wait,
no.
Hang on, AJ. No. I have the number one story.
No, we're not doing that. We don't need to do that. It
was so fun.
Unnecessary.
Randy and I went dressed as the devil and a demon.
Yeah, totally
Walmart.
Unplanned.
Yep.
I forgot. And it was like, what, August?
Yeah.
It was not even.
No, I think, it was like August or September.
No, it was later. It was closer to Halloween.
Was it closer
like
to
November?
October?
It was like November, I think.
But it was like not close enough to Halloween to be an appropriate time to be in.
Oh, no, absolutely
not. Definitely not. No. Nope. Mm-mm.
That was a fun party.
That was a fun party.
So
Sunny was Emma Frost.
Mm-hmm.
I was Emma Frost.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool.
Your mom was the Ice Queen, which is amazing.
It's perfect.
All right, so the number one story in this cauldron. In Hamburg, New York, a dude walked into the Northwest Savings Bank wearing an Incredible Hulk ski mask. Nothing wrong with that. There's probably a lot wrong with that.
A couple things wrong with that.
28-year-old Jacob Lester of Angola ordered the teller to put cash into a bag and ran off. Lester would have gotten away with it, except someone recognized him. He'd been arrested a few days before at the McKinley Mall for shoplifting. Someone gave a description of Lester before he'd put his mask on outside the bank. And the arresting...
Put it on outside of the bank?
And the arresting officer at the mall realized they were the same guy. He also recognized the necklace Lester was wearing. Hulk-like jewelry too much.
Oh,
can you imagine you walk up and you're like outside the doors and you like go to open them, you're like, oh shit, wait, I forgot something. Boop.
Boop. Boop.
No, it's me.
Me and my distinctive necklace.
What an idiot. God.
Well, I'm gonna post. I'm leaving tomorrow for JRTC, so we're gonna take another hiatus. But I'm gonna try to post some of these pictures of the crimes that from the article that AJ sent, because they are hilarious. Like Gumby standing there waiting for this dude to give him some money. The terrifying Cookie Monster.
They're great.
They're excellent.
Darth Vader got away with it though. That's crazy.
I mean, he would, right?
It's the dark side.
It's the dark side. There's nothing I can do.
There's
It's the dark
nothing I
side.
can do.
There's nothing I can do.
But there is something that y'all could do. You could listen and subscribe on all of the platforms where you get your favorite podcasts.
Leave us nice comments. Tell your friends about us.
Sure could.
Listen next time we post.
It will be sooner. We do have a case to publish before I come back, so it's not going to be the whole like 30-day hiatus. Which, if you want to, we should do I would love, once I get out of the military, I'm going to tell like terrible stories about the combat training center rotations and all the dumb shit that goes on when we're there. Like the time that 50% of the unit had heat casualties.
How about you do military crimes?
Yes, that is in the lineup for sure. I'm going to use the time to try to research some stuff, because there's some cases that I want to cover for my own reasons. But in the meantime, we will see you guys soon.
Thank
We'll
you.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.